Welcome to the Bulldogs Coaches Show, featuring Howe Athletic Director and Head Coach Zack Hudson.
Coach, a 48-12 win over Tom Bean last week, 589 rushing yards, which is a school record. Is that kind of what you envisioned when you hired on for the slot T?
Well, 600 yards of offense is quite a lot of offense, and I don't think anybody envisions that. That you're capable of doing that, but Tom Bean was giving us some stuff that we were able to take advantage of, and I thought our offensive line played a lot better. And when that happens and you can bust some big plays, you tend to run more plays. And, you could always have that amount of yards, but you never can run that many plays when you only get 7-8 yards a pop. But now, the other night we were getting 50, 60 yards a pop. And so it makes it a lot easier to reach those higher marks.
Garrett Griffin holds the school record with 310 yards rushing in a single game. Hawthorne had 292 last week. If you knew that, would you have let him try to stay in and get that extra yards to break the school record?
That's one of those things that's a decision. And sometimes, had we have known anything, of that nature, we would have discussed it with him. But it's one of those situations where I wanted to get another 300 yards the next game. And once the game was outside the tiebreaker point scenario, then it was, make sure we're healthy for the next game.
You're 1-1 in district now and already played gunner, so you're kind of sitting in the driver's seat of controlling your own destiny. Is that right? Absolutely.
If we go out and handle our business, then it is. We have our own destiny in our own hands, which is a good thing. We're not relying on anybody else right now.
S&S had their huge breakthrough year in their program last year. How do they look this year?
They're still a great football team. They play a lot of good teams. That's the scary part about them. They're playing Van Alstyne, they're playing North Lamar, they're playing Boyd. They're playing good football teams. So that's where the competition is different for them, because that football team has played a lot of good football teams, and so their linemen are all returners, and you can tell on film they really are good up front, and so it'll be a good test for us.
You talked about tiebreakers earlier. Talk about the scenario and how that works when you get into district.
It's a plus-minus 13. So if there's any kind of tiebreaker, they go back to points scored on the games of the people that tied, and you get a plus or minus 13 is the max. And so if you beat somebody by 13 or more, you have a plus 13, or if they beat you by 13 or more, you have a minus 13. So anytime you win a ball game, you want to try to win it by 14 points or more, and that way you have the max amount of points for a tiebreaker.
What are the keys to tonight's victory?
Tonight we have to go out offensively and move the ball and play our game, and I've said that every week. We have to play our style of football and not let them dictate what style we're playing. The other night really wasn't even our style. We're not a big play offense, and we hit, I think, 9 plays that were huge. Well, saying that, we're too young on defense to go on defense that much. We're going to give up some yardage just due to our youth, and we play off momentum. Our defense plays great when our offense is playing great, and so it's one of those things where we got to continue to strive to try to make sure we're playing our style football and not letting them dictate what style we play.
This has been the Bulldogs Coaches Show, featuring Howe Athletic Director and Head Coach Zack Hudson.